Let's go down to Maria with Coach Saban.
All right, Coach, everyone had questions about who was going to start at quarterback when this game started. What answers did you have about your quarterbacks after watching both of them play tonight?
Well, I still like both guys. I think both guys are good players. I think both guys can help our team. All right, so why do you continually try to get me to say something that doesn't respect one of them? I'm not going to, so quit asking. Come on, BJ, finish the play. How you want to get, D? Like this, like this. Come on, Julio, let's go. Come on, break on the ball. You got one guy breaking on the ball. No, Terrell, run the route again. Damn it, it's cut. You don't have anybody to flat.
Way back on the other end, awaiting this punt. And wobbler off the side of his foot, takes a big hop. McKinstry faked like he was going to take the ball, and now the ball is loose. Tennessee says they have it. Did it touch an Alabama player? I guess it did.
Coach Saban down there with 46 seconds left. He is hot under the collar that they gave up that touchdown.
Well, he's mad at Coach Kiffin because they had a fumble. And that's definitely, he doesn't like that play call selection, because when you have moving parts, that has the potential of happening. Rather just hand it off. And then the coverage mistake on the back end on defense. Saw Diggs in that picture just before.
And I'm going to tell you what, if I had a barometer up your ass to say whether you were giving effort or not, it was about 50%. Now, who made that choice? Every individual guy here. Why did you push yourself to finish?
From the 4, Rodgers scans, fires across the middle, incomplete.
For these defensive backs, they get the left hand. You see how frustrated he is.
Defense, number 13. Now will the ball be placed at the 2-yard line?
You think he wants to shut out?
But again, the left hand is clean. It's the right hand that grab hip. See the right hip? That's what they called.
And that's certainly enough to keep. This is going to be the last play. Can they get points in Tuscaloosa? Yes. Marks walks into 0-0, and they dodge the shutout. And the crowd booing the pass interference call in the end zone, and Nick won't be pleased about that.
Jones at the 25. Flags.
Yep, blocking it back.
Yeah.
Oh, Nick will be irate with this call.
Tony Brown, number 7.
He'll be irate with Tony Brown, number 7. It was an unnecessary block, and he puts his team in tough. Yep, that's who he was. He wasn't going after the officials. He was going after Brown.
Yep. During the return, illegal block in the back, receiving team number 7. 10-yard penalty from the spot of the foul.
You know, it's kind of like my dad used to tell me, you know, when I used to go to work at the station, my girlfriend broke up with me, so I was treating the customers bad. And he said, "What's wrong with you today?" And I said, "My girlfriend broke up with me." He said, "Well, you know, you got one problem, but if you keep treating the customers bad, you're going to have 2 more. I'm going to fire you, and then I'm going to whip your ass for getting fired. So you're not going to have a girlfriend, you're not going to have a job, all right, and you're going to get your tail whipped." So whatever happened in the hurricane happened, and it's a bad thing, and we want to support everybody every way we can. And we certainly did that as much as we could. But if we don't go out there and play a good game, we're going to have all the problems that they had from the hurricane, and then we're going to have a problem that we lost. So it kind of goes back to what my dad said, I think.
Season. Jacobs again in Wildcat formation, and they're getting cute down here. That was another false start. Damian Harris was lined up to the right side, and Saban just threw the card down that time.
Well, he's clapping his hands, trying to get the ball snapped, and I think Damian Harris was anticipating that the ball was going to be snapped.
You need a new headset, Coach. That one got broken. It's in a couple of different pieces. Now it's 4th down now, and it's going to be 5. And you don't have to lip read very skillfully to know that he's not very pleased.
Anticipating, see him on his toes. He finally just loses his balance, and Nick Saban's like, "Oh man!"
Look at that. Watch the headset. Boom. You do that with a football, it costs you 15 yards. I don't know how expensive those things are, but they're going to.
Okay. Before the snap, false start. 79 offense.
The penalty is 5 yards from the previous spot. Alabama is elected to use a timeout to avoid the 10-second runoff.
So they have to use their last timeout, and now Nick Saban.
Timeout. Alabama.
Not happy.
That's not the same face we saw when he was telling us about expecting to have a granddaughter soon.
His granddaughter coming in December, and his face lit up like a Christmas tree in our meeting yesterday. That's not the same face.
No, it's red, just a different kind of red.
Oh, well, they didn't have the 10-second runoff, but they're without a timeout now, and they're going to have to.
Nick, just in terms of their quarterback, obviously has some Division I or FBS experience playing at UAB. What have you seen from him?
He's a very good player. You know, he's a really good player, and he does a great job with their offense. And you know, these teams that are typically the best teams in their division are really good teams. All right, and you all may be taking the week off, all right, this week, but I'm not. And a lot of people take a lot of things for granted, and I get asked questions like, well, how important is it for the young guys to get to play this week? Well, how in the hell you know they're going to get to play? I mean, what makes you think that you can just assume that they're going to get to play? Because you're assuming that the other team is not very good? They do have a Division I quarterback. He plays like a Division I quarterback, and they're very, very productive on offense, and they do a great job of executing what they do. And if we don't play good against them, you all don't remember the Georgia Southern game, do you? I don't think we had a guy on that field that didn't play in the NFL, and about 4 or 5 of them were first-round draft picks. And I think that team won a national championship, but I'm not sure. And they run through our like through a tin horn, man, and we could not stop them. Could not stop them. Could not stop them. Because we couldn't get a look in practice. We didn't practice it right. All right, and everybody said the same thing in that game. Y'all took a week off. All right, this wasn't important. All right, so it's not important to anybody else. It's got to be important to the players, and it's got to be important to us. You know, everybody gets all excited about the beginning of the season. You know, you get excited about getting married. All right, but after you're married for a while, you know, you got to have a process to make it work. All right, and no matter what happens, we need to have a process to make it work in every game that we play. Every game that we play. Can't assume anything. I don't even know what you asked me, but I just wanted to say that. Did anybody see that game? You saw that game? Yeah. I think we'd given up like 300 yards rushing the whole season in 10 games. That's like 30 yards a game. And all anybody wanted to talk about was how dominant the front was and how nobody could run against us. They got 300 yards rushing in one game. You don't remember that? I don't know, maybe you weren't around then. I don't know, maybe you're not old enough.